Welcome back to More Talking Private Eye. We got with us one of the writers, producers of the film, my brother Hope.
What's happening?
Welcome to Talking Private Eye, man. How
Good,
you doing,
man? How you doing?
Good to see you. Glad
Yes,
you're
sir.
able to join us.
Likewise.
All right, so we've talked about a little bit of the writing process with some other folks already. Tell me a little bit as far as your process goes and how you got involved with Private Eye.
Okay,
What was that like?
Two-parter.
Yeah.
So this might be a little long-winded,
Okay.
but
You got time.
my writing and creative process is I got to see the story and I got to see the characters in my head first.
Yeah.
And I got to ask, whether it's Jack or whoever's approaching me, why you want to tell this story? Like, I've had people come to me with slave stories and all kind of melodramatic stories.
Yeah.
And I can kind of tell that they're Oscar baiting. You know what I mean? So I got to
Oscar
really...
baiting, that's a crazy word.
Yeah, Oscar baiting, you know what I mean? 12 Years a Slave and all these, even Harriet, for some reason, black people, that's all they see us in that light. In order for us to get accolades and awards, is you got to play a slave.
You got to struggle.
It's got to be something like Precious, where it's super, super just traumatic. It's just trauma porn. So I don't want no parts of that.
Yeah.
So when someone approaches me, I'm really trying to figure out their thought process because, my great friend Jack told me, filmmaking is just human psychology. That's literally all it is.
Jack has some bars, man.
He has some bars.
He dropped some bars in here earlier.
Yeah,
on us,
man.
Yeah.
I mean, I've learned a lot from that guy.
Yeah.
He's one of the greats.
Man, definitely.
Yeah, so once I find out the true intention of wanting to tell the story, then that's when I can give you my answer on if I'm on board or not.
Yeah.
Now, the second wave comes when we start to really cook up and we have these writing sessions, and I'm able to gauge how quickly that creative spark goes off in my head. And if I really, really, really love the story, we can write it in a week.
Like Jack said, 5-6 days, wasn't
Literally,
it?
it doesn't take that long. The quickest I've ever written a script, it was a spec script for the movie The Warriors.
Okay.
I was in Ibiza when I wrote it, and I wrote it in 48 hours.
Jesus.
Literally 1 hour
y'all
episode,
writing so fast, man.
just 2 hours. And it's like, if I love it that much and I love the story, I'm itching to tell it. Like, I'm waking up at 4 a.m, like, all right, what we doing? You know what I mean?
That's such a crazy, thought to me that, writing can be that. And I mean, it totally makes sense, but at the same time, it's hard for me to put myself in those shoes.
Yeah.
To where I can think of myself being as excited to write something as I am to work on a piece of music.
Yeah, I mean, it's very invigorating.
Yeah.
We get it from the universe, we get it from God, just these gifts. It's just a blessing to be able to just take it and run with it and just maximize it while you can, because we are the next greats that's coming out.
Yeah.
The Denzels and the Mike Nichols and the Spike Lees and the John Singletons, they're phasing out. They're getting older. Even the Martin Scorsese's, they're phenomenal. We love their works and we emulate them.
Yeah.
But we're New Hollywood.
Yeah.
We're the people who are going to replace them.
I mean, at some point, they were replacing somebody as well. It's
I
all
mean,
part of the
Fellini.
game,
Everyone's replaceable, but you have to find your mark, and you have to just stamp your name, your production company, plant your flag before you leave, because that's what people are going to remember you by. Yeah. I mean, my first films that I was watching that I can remember at a young age with my mom, it was Spike Lee films. It was Crooklyn.
Yeah.
It was Do the Right Thing. It was Clockers. And that was the first time I was able to really see representation, someone like me on screen with hip-hop elements, because I'm a hip-hop head. So I try to just combine all of those in a film.
Clockers in particularly, to me, jumps off the page as far as, visually something that made me kind of feel different.
Yeah.
And not, just kind of seeing it. I remember just being... some of the cut scenes, where he's got, what's his name, had the gun, and he's like,
Makai,
bang,
yeah.
Those little scenes and stuff, they were very impressionable to me, the way that he shot it and the storytelling of it, because it felt kind of like a music video, but not in a cheesy or corny way. You know what I mean? It felt like that in a way that it made me want to watch more.
Exactly.
So it's cool to hear you reference that one. Yeah.
Me and Jack, we kind of do similar things. That's why we mesh so well together. But for example, like Clockers, they had Onyx in there. Sticky Fingers. Fredro Starr and whatnot. And I've always seen that. And I wanted to emulate that. So every single film or project that I've done, I've had a rapper in it. someone that I actually listen to.
Yeah.
I put King Chip in his first project that he's ever been in cinematically.
Yeah.
And that's because when I was in college and I was listening to Cuddy and Chip,
Yeah.
those are the people who made me feel like it's all right to be myself. You know what I mean? Like, fuck what everybody else is talking about.
Yeah.
It's all good. You know what I mean? So I love to incorporate hip-hop artists and meshing them with, you know, seasoned talent like Spike did. He put Mekhi Phifer, and he held an audition for that. And it was Mekhi Phifer's first role ever. They had thousands and thousands of people who's acted.
I didn't know that was his first role.
He never did anything. He came in there, he had the look, he had the talent. Boom, now he's the leading man. On side of Delroy Lindo. That's crazy. And Delroy Lindo is one of our greats. I mean, the Five Bloods is everything. Even from Crooklyn, he was the dad. So me and Jack, we want to do the same thing where we're working horizontal and never vertical. We can work with our friends and put them next to great people like Eric Roberts, who's just phenomenal on set. He's a beast, and he's been in just hundreds and hundreds of projects. So, yeah, man, we just try to emulate the greats because we are the next greats.
Man, that's powerful. That is powerful stuff. Working with Private Eye, what are some memorable moments that, you know, the stories that you had that were enjoyable, that stick, you know, that jump off the page, stick to your brain, so to speak?
Well, the first thing that comes off the top of my head is 12. They tried to shut us down. That's the police. That's the feds. They tried to shut us down for like two to three times every week. They just pull up on set and they check for our permits.
Yeah.
And this is why, as a producer, I'm gonna speak, you know, as a producer-wise, you always want to make sure you have your permits and everything intact. Yes, I love guerrilla warfare. I love shooting guerrilla and saying forget
gun,
the permits. It just costs too much. Forget the insurance. But those are the protocols that you need for filmmaking. Imagine we got shut down. If we would have got shut down, it would have been a complete nightmare. Now me and Jack are looking like amateurs. Everyone that came out, we still either got to pay them a kill fee or the initial fee, whatever they want, just to make sure there's no bad blood.
Right.
So you got to cross your T's and dot your I's. Filmmakers, please cross your T's and dot your I's, because you do not want to look like it's amateur hour in front of your castmates, in front of your crew. You have to look like you got everything. Even the investors, we had the investors on set, and they wanted to make sure everything was going good because their priority is the ROI, but our priority is quality and making sure the story is phenomenal and making sure things are flawless. Yeah, you can never get everything perfect or executed how you've seen it in your mind because it's almost impossible, you know? With so many thoughts we have, all right, are we gonna use CG to do this? Or, you know, are we gonna cheat this? So, yeah, man, I'm sorry that was a little long-winded.
Nah, brother,
but
no,
yeah, that's
not
kind of
at
how you
all.
gotta do it.
Yeah,
The police, they tried to shut us down. And it was my pleasure to come out there like, here you are, sir. I'm like a process server. Boom, you've been served. Go ahead. Go ahead, do your Googles, do whatever you got to do, but we good. Everything's solid.
That's
Film
awesome.
LA stamped us. And speaking of Film LA, we were one of 15 sets during COVID that completed production without anyone catching COVID. There were so many productions that were shutting down while we were filming, and we did it successfully. So that's another story in itself.
Were y'all already shooting when COVID hit, or?
Yes, we were shooting when COVID hit, and a lot of people were kind of, okay, so COVID, it was a bittersweet thing because, yes, there were a lot of people passing away, and, you know, we had to stay inside, but it was a great opportunity for filmmakers because, especially as a producer, right? Before COVID, you reach out to actors, they're getting booked left and right, so they're not really trying to fuck with you like that unless you really know them. They'll be like, oh, go through my agency, and then the agency, UTA, WME, they're gonna give you some bullshit. All right, what's the budget? All right, who's attached? All right, is the story good enough? Is this Oscar worthy? Like, it's just too much politics, and I hate going through agents for that exact reason. So that's why I build relationships. And Jack has the best quote in this industry that I've ever heard. He says, "Don't do business, make friends," because that's what the entertainment lawyers are for. That's what the agents are for. Let them go through all that bullshit.
We are gem here from Jack. See, Jack's gems, man. We gonna have
it's another one. I mean, he got a couple of my gems. We always trade back and forth gems, but I mean, just everything that's transpired so far is all through friendships. We called in 100 favors for the Private Eye, and that's when I was able to truly gauge who are my real friends in this industry. And who are just people who are just, all right, you're disposable.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I'll fuck with you when I fuck with you.
Yeah.
So the people who really came through and showed out to me, I'm gratefully forever in your debt. And whenever you need something, you can call me. It's 100. We don't gotta talk about the price. Not charging you nothing. It's all love. That's coming from me.
It's on film too. You guys got it on tape. See, it's
It's on
guaranteed.
tape.
It's
You caught it on
guaranteed.
tape. You feel me? Smiling on the Fed cameras.
So, as you're going to take on a project, right? Like you told me how you get involved with it and all that, but is there a process like once you're in the writing world? Is there something that you like to do? Like, are you writing in a certain like room or somewhere in your house? Like, what's the creative process when you've already taken the project on and you're getting into that writing mode?
Yeah, I do a lot of writing from my house. And I'll wake up, every day I'm up by 4 a.m. and I'm asleep by 9 or 10 just to give my brain a sufficient amount of time to kind of recharge and recalibrate. But I love writing at home. I'll even read a couple of books before just to see what I can incorporate. Like a couple of my favorite books right now are How to Win Friends and Influence People, which really taught me how to navigate this industry. And there's another book by Mark Burnett called How to Be a Producer. And he's the one who did, Survivor and all those shows.
Yeah, I was
that
gonna
we
say I
grew
know
up
that
on.
name.
He's an OG producer, and that's somebody who I've looked up to really figure out what is producing. Because I started as an actor, as a background actor, and that's how I met Jack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I didn't want to act because it all felt like vanity to me. Like people are still hitting me up to this day, like, "Yo, you have such a dope style, like you curate, you know what I mean? Like, are you even a filmmaker? Like every time I see you, you're dressed like a rapper.
Yeah.
Why aren't you directing? You know what I mean? You just have like this style that comes with directors, you know what I mean? And even that feels like a vanity move to me as well. So I've always been the person who likes to play the background, because that's literally how I came up, as a background extra.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be being treated like cattle. Yes, they feed us phenomenal, but we're treated like cattle, and everybody
Well-fed
on that
cattle.
set feels like they're about to be the next Leonardo DiCaprio. They think they're going to be the next Chadwick Boseman. And yes, that might be true. And yes, they're paying you enough to, make your rent or whatnot. But I had to learn, I have to get out of this central casting background mentality, because if I'm in this just to pay my rent, I'm not going to go anywhere. The money is not the motive.
Yeah.
Telling phenomenal stories with your friends, that's the motive for me.
See, and it's really cool that you say that, because that has been a theme with everybody that's sat down. They've all said something to that effect, of that it's not the money that drives them, it's the creativity, it's putting something amazing out for the world to consume. Yeah. So I think that's really cool that it's a constant theme amongst all of you, because it shows, to what Jack was saying earlier, how it's not just his movie, it's everybody's movie. Everybody that's working on it.
The most important job on the set is your job, because everyone has to be 100% in what they're doing. If it's art department, if it's sound, if it's makeup, everybody got to be on 100. So your job is the most important one. Don't let anybody tell you that the director is more important than what you're doing, or don't let anybody tell you that the producer is more important, or the writer. Everyone is equally important on every set, and that's how I feel. I'm standing on that.
I think that's something good to stand on. Is that, that's going to make sure that everybody's there giving 100%, and they're all dedicated to the project, and they're going to bat for you too, playing for each other, so to speak.
It's a home team. Like it's really a team effort.
Yeah.
Can't one person make a film. You can hold the Super 8 and you can follow people around, but that's so much work. Why do all of that just to say you did everything? Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to spread the wealth.
Yeah,
Adam Sandler to Seth Rogen, they to this day still fuck with the same people who they started with. You know what I mean? And that's what me and Jack want to do. Yeah. To Matt Rife, to Denzel Whitaker, to the Jay Reeves, to the Elijah Booths, to the Patrick Walkers. I'm friends with just some phenomenal actors who I know personally, they're up next. Yeah. They are the next Denzels. They are the next Chadwick Bosemans. Yeah. Like, their talent exudes like no other. And I'm just here to champion them like they champion me.
That's amazing. So you mentioned that you got your start as a background actor.
Yeah.
what is the trajectory, the career path of somebody to go from background actor to writing? Like, how did you transition that?
Well, I started because I was probably on my 40th to 150th set as a background actor.
Yeah.
You just kind of start losing the number, and it's every day you're just there. Hopefully you can get a yellow voucher. That yellow voucher, that's how you go union, ladies and gentlemen. You need 3 of those yellow vouchers, and that's how you can become SAG eligible. You take that to the SAG office, boom, pay your $3,000 or whatever it is for your SAG dues, and now you're in the SAG business. But so a little background, I didn't go to school for film.
Okay.
I went to school for business management, and this is a business, and a lot of people, a lot of actors, they don't understand the business within this whole thing. They don't understand the distribution, the marketing. It's a whole business tactic, and it's a model. And you only can perfect your business model. So while I was on set playing a DJ or a hippie or you know, whatever background role I was that day, it would just dawn on me. I mean, I'm in cold black for like 60 days. Playing a patient, and it's freezing in there, and I'm like, I don't want to do this shit for the rest of my life. Like, they're having all the fun, and we gotta sit here for hours and hours to say, background, we need you on set. And it's like, all right, dog, this is kind of crazy. So I would spend a lot of my time not on my phone, not on Instagram. I would pay attention to all of these sets and how they were ran. I would pay attention to, oh, damn, what is that? Oh, that's what the grips and gaffers do? Oh, that's the gaffer. Oh, okay. I would learn all of the roles, and by the time I had it, I was like, oh, okay, so this is all it takes. I mean, you need some money, of course, but the most important thing is the crew members. I mean, they're gonna move your set. They're gonna light it up. They got an hour to 2 hours max. We gotta move it. So I was just on set the whole time and looking at the actors like, is that really what I want to do? Do I want to just be standing in front of a camera and being told what to do for my whole career? No. I want to boss up and be able to tell people what to do, and I want to be able to collaborate with people, and I want to tell dope stories. Even through the audition process, when you're trying to break out as a background actor and trying to be an actor, that's even crazy in itself, because it's not even about the skills. It's just about, oh, he has the dopest look, and I'll give you a story on that, right?
Okay.
So I had booked one of my first roles. It was a short film for the AFI, and it was called Benny Got Shot. Okay. And it was directed by Malcolm Washington. And he has a new movie that's about to blow up based on the play. But I had booked it. They said, all right, you're going to be our lead. I'm like, yes, finally. All right. I'm up there. I'm doing something, right? I go in to meet the producer. I'll never forget it. Her name was Jonique, and she says, hey, so I need to talk to you. I'm like, yeah, what's up? She's like, we have someone else who looks younger, and he looks more of the part that's playing kid. And I'm like, wait, are you fucking with me? Because I'm sleeping on couches right now, and I just caught 3 buses to get all the way up here. So Lord. What is we doing? Dang. And she was like, yo, no, it's okay. We have this smaller role. It's no speaking lines, but it's going to be pivotal towards the end and the reveal. Are you okay with that? In my head, I was kind of hot. I was on hot. It's like, damn, you really had me come all the way up here, and I don't even got the leading role. But what I learned from that lesson was, you got to be grateful for whatever you get, man. You can't be a prima donna or a diva and think everything is for you. You can't be entitled with these people. So my mom always told me, you got to get in when you fit in. And that's exactly what I did. So I went ahead, I took a background to / a feature role, and it was cool. Now let me go further. Okay. We do the red carpet for Benny Got Shot, and mind you, they told me, oh yeah, the director, his name is Malcolm Washington, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's still not ringing. We're at the red carpet, we're taking pictures, boom, boom, boom. That's where I met Jay Reeves, who's in this movie. Okay. I developed a long-term relationship with him, because he's the one who took my role. Ain't that something? He took my role.
Wait, now he's in the movie
now
that you...
I casted him in my movie. If I was a sucker, If I was a sucker, I would have been like, nah, it's fuck him whenever I see him.
Right,
You know what I mean? But I'm not even on that.
Nah.
I'm like, yo, I recognize great talent, so we gotta lock in, bro. Like we gotta do something together.
Right.
And we put him in here. But to not go too crazy, we're taking the pictures, you know, we're doing a red carpet. I'm like, all right, well, I didn't get a big role. I feel like I made it. We all going to the theater. The lights are lowering. We're ready. It's about to queue up.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, a big commotion from the audiences. They're like, oh my God. And I'm with the cast. We're looking behind.
Yeah.
And here comes Denzel Washington and his wife Pauletta.
Oh, man, that's amazing.
Walking down the aisle, and people are going crazy. Oh my God, there's Denzel! Oh my God! They're going insane, right?
Yeah.
And in that moment, I'm like, wait. I felt like Weebay from The Wire. You know when Stringer Bell was like,
yeah.
Shorty was a cop.
Yeah.
And she's not dead, and Weebay's like,
yeah.
that's how I fucking felt. I'm like, wait, hold on. Your dad was Denzel the whole fucking time?
That's crazy.
Are you shitting me?
That's crazy.
So they sit down, we watch it. It was so fucking good. The audience was like, encore. We watch it again. We go outside, right? Now, I had some homies that I invited because I thought this was like the most player shit.
Right,
So I invite the homies.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, bro, there's Denzel, bro. Go flick up with him. And I'm like, come on, bro. I can't do that. Like, I'm a
Yes,
little
you
crazy.
can. Yes, you can.
And they're like, bro, you know, this is when everybody was saying,
Yeah.
if it ain't on the gram, it didn't happen. If you ain't flick up, it didn't happen. But in my head, I can just read people, and I'm an organic person, so I'm not gonna go over there and try to get a flick for some clout. So I was like, nah, chill. Deadass. 2 minutes later, Denzel walks over to us.
That's amazing. Yeah.
It wasn't like we locked eyes or nothing.
Yeah,
He just
nah.
walked over and he was like, that was you up there on that slab, huh? That was you on that slab? You was the dead man, huh? And I was like, yeah. He was like, good fucking job, kid. What's your name?
Yo.
I said, my name is Hope. He said, wrong. When somebody asks you your name, you say your first and your last. I was like, oh, shit. Hope Ayiyi. He was like, Hope Ayiyi, you did a good fucking job. Is this what you want to do? And I was like, yeah, I mean, right now, I got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm trying to figure this whole thing out, though. And he was like, let me give you some advice. Stay down until you come up. And literally, those words is why I'm still here. Dead ass. Because there's so many times I felt like giving up and saying, fuck this shit. My family in Arizona, they got multi-million-dollar businesses where they are hiring people and they are making the economy spin out in Arizona. So they're looking at me like,
what are you doing?
What the fuck are you still doing in Cali? We moved from Cali to go to Arizona to get the big bag, and you still fucking with Cali? Mm-hmm. But I'm like, y'all make y'all money how y'all make y'all money, and I'm going to do what makes me happy because at the end of the day, this ain't about the money. This is about straight passion. Like, you can't buy passion. You can't buy purpose. Nah. A lot of people don't know their purpose to this fucking day, and I wake up blessed every single day that I have a purpose. And that's priceless.
That's beautiful. On that note,
sorry about the long-winded backstory.
Like
this is Mythic Quest.
That is the perfect. No, that right there is the perfect exit for us, right there, man.
Man. I mean,
we'll leave it off on the passion, and you know what I mean.
The passion.
They're gonna see the passion in Private Eye. It's gonna be in theaters nationwide very soon. So make sure you guys are keeping an eye on that. Hope, thank you for stopping by with us, man. I can't wait to see your work on the big screen, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man.